To get rid of them toxins. Sports in a top 10.
Mar-a-Lago, yeah. I'ma take a trip to Cabo, yeah. Got a hotel in Chicago, yeah. Got your bitch saying MAGA, got your hoe screaming Donald. Double arch, no McDonald's, yeah. Redhead, no Ronald, yeah. Who's that? It's McConnell. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. I said person, woman, man, camera, TV. I gotta poop, and I just bought golden TP. I gotta breathe. Is that grilled cheese? Sleepy Joe, you're finished. I got a feeling I win this. You can't even get out a sentence. No. Look at you, got some incredible teeth. Gotta give her your props to your dentist. Yes. But you will like Dennis the Menace, but even Obama can't even defend this. What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just zapped it. I got options. I could pay a said bitch like Stockton.
Donald, shut the fuck up. Looks like you're slacking in the polls. You better get your luck up, bitch. I know Joe's slow.
Once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a Billy of Tea. The winds blew up her bow, dipped down below, my Billy boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us.
What the hell happened?
I don't know. You wrote echo, so I'm like, oh, do I have a second window?
No, you had an echo in the countdown, but it seemed to sort itself out with the Trump guy, and then there wasn't an echo there either. So
you just ruined it. You ruined the.
I did ruin it. You ruined it by. How do you not have these preloaded?
Well, laziness, I guess, is the. I should download them, shouldn't I?
She says these are the production values I come for. Yeah.
Did you like the
production values? Stay for the lols.
Did you like the Donald thing?
I did. I love a guy who can do him properly. And
yeah,
he was doing Obama well too. I was getting into it.
He was really good. You should hear his Cleveland. It's like perfect. Like I think they actually hired him on the show. He was that good for the Cleveland. Let's say hello, chat. I know there's a lot of comments in here, but they're gone now. So I don't know what happened. So I'm just going to say hello to the people from the top. B-Rose, Von Stugel, Eddie Winkler, Jeremy Burtz, Eric Saga, Crackhead, Oz Great Sage, Feelings, so stupid, so true. Bancroft just not wanting to hang out with me again. Pretty much the main topic of today's show. The wow. Bancroft bus, and how do you not get thrown under it? Steps to avoid. We'll give you the top 10 things to do here. Jeremy Burtz, I think I said you. NTM, just he does not stop Bancroft. He's just.
I know. I said that he's really getting the knives out today, and then I thought, no, that's just always.
I know. I wonder if he's a mod. He might. Someone might.
NTM copped it hard from Mo Biggs. And he was trial by fire. He came out the other side, scorched a little singed, but alive. And now he's just taken the lessons he learned and turning it back around on you.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing, in my opinion.
Is it? It's pretty freaking irritating, I've got to say. Crackheads here. KSSS. He was telling his wife to go mow the lawn or something along those lines.
Lawn is mowed. It's looking good. Don't worry about it. Yep.
How did the Robocopter get like this? He probably went outside without his helmet and fell and hit his head, and then the other guy was created. Mel B, your wife. I noticed, Bancroft, you gave me crap once. You said she has a name, and quite frequently, I hear you refer to her as your wife and not by her name. So
I'm allowed to, though.
Are you?
Yes, I'm in a position of privilege.
I mean, I guess that's probably accurate.
She's my wife.
I appreciate the effort that went into that thumbnail. Yeah, that was a good 2 minutes, that one. Scrolling down.
You should do the coloring for Replicator 3.
What's that?
You should do the colors for Replicator 3, yeah.
Mate, I reckon like if I learned how to color, I can be good at it. The Beampad, what's up? GK1. Beampad's not new anymore, mate. All your new privileges have expired. I don't think anything will change.
That's what you get.
Ray Rahu. I'm going to go with that. I don't know if that's actually his name. Scrolling down. Dave Brinks in the house. Shane O'Sullivan. It's done the skip. Junk 666. Jasper Plan 9. Derman, hello. There's a few new people here. It's good to see. Thank you very much. Ryan Johnson as well. I'm sure I've missed people. Oh, Canetti's here. He's actually awake. He's old and he can't normally stay up late.
What do you reckon of my hat, Rob?
It's terrible.
It's too small.
Did you import that from Australia?
I don't know where this is from.
That was me saying
I got
you're
your
not
joke.
actually Australian.
Yeah. No,
okay.
I understand your
okay,
joke.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
But I wanted to check. This is the people don't know that the Australian sports colors are green and gold, and that's our sports logo. But this is an Australia hat. It's made in China.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Velcro on the back. I'm not feeling it.
This
George's. It was my sister's. There you go.
This looks like something you would have worn during your skating years.
This?
Yeah.
No, I wore my normal hat. Where is that thing? What have I done with it?
Eric Weathers in the house.
I put my normal hat on. I don't.
My
hair's way too long. Look at this. I swear I had a Forrest Gump haircut. Now I've got a Riker haircut in like a week.
Dude, you wish you had a Riker haircut. Mo Biggs, Rob thinks everyone needs very basic jokes explained to them. Total projection. It's true. How do people stay up this late?
Well, it's only 5 p.m. for us.
I know. I'm going to send you a proper hat in the mail soon.
I look forward to it, Antoine. Thank you.
So we have some topics today, Bancroft. We might look at some campaigns. Might not. I don't know. We'll see how it's going.
You've been selling me books lately, Rob. I hope that continues.
Me?
Yeah, every time we do this, I get a few more sales.
Well, I didn't agree to that. It's only midnight here. A lot of new faces in the chat. Appreciate you all. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're climbing up to 600 now, so it is going up, which is great.
I should probably share this out.
That would be nice, yeah. I mean, you don't bring anything else except your winning personality. Some person, we stay up late because of voices. So Bancroft, I have a bone to pick with you.
Get in line.
I know, right? It is funny. It is funny. Someone the other week asked me, who's that guy that's really pissed off at Bancroft? And I'm like, oh, is it this guy? And he's like, no, not that one. And then it dawned on me, there are actually multiple people pissed off at you. How does that make you feel? I've only got one. Actually, no, I've got two too, actually. Yeah, it's a shame.
Well, yeah, I swear by the Voltaire quote that I can't quote because I forget it. But it's it's about I know that's Lord, make my enemies ridiculous. No, there's a different quote. Anyway, no, I mean if you're getting enemies, that means you're doing something. I don't know. You mean something. Otherwise, if you were just milk toast on everything, everyone would like you, but you wouldn't be doing anything. That's how I choose to interpret it. It means I must be doing something right.
You have another enemy in me now. I hope you realize what you've done.
What did I do now?
Well, we're talking about your closeout stream and, how you want to have a big closeout.
Yeah.
And you've sorted it out with everyone else except for me. You haven't even let me know when it is. You haven't invited me.
I did invite you.
It's literally tomorrow. And
no, it's not tomorrow. It's the day after. It's American Friday. So not our Friday. American Friday.
But
Yeah.
still, you
Can you
didn't
come
see,
now?
like you didn't tell me because I don't know when it is. So I mean, that is exactly
Don't
my
hurt your
point.
feelings, Rob.
And you know, I have a kid, I have a family. It's not like I'm Phil.
I have 2 kids.
Yeah, but you've organized this. Your wife lets you stream during the day. She's working at the house doing her job, you know. You just didn't tell me, and you expect me to drop everything I have and just show up? Or maybe that's the point. You don't want me to show up.
Well,
That's
I mean,
exactly
you
the
can
point.
show up if you want. You will be allowed on.
I
If you
mean, geez,
don't,
what an amazing invitation that is. Oh, you can show up if you want to. I'll let you on the stream, but you know, I don't really care if you're there or not.
oh, I
Damn,
do care,
man.
Rob. I want you there.
That's
If you can
that's
make
crazy.
it, I want you there.
Mel, how do you put
See
up
what
with
they
this on a
say?
daily
See what I
basis?
say, everyone, about not catching feelings?
That's crazy.
Don't catch feelings on the
Crazy.
internet. That doesn't lead to anywhere good.
So that is what Bancroft has done to me this week.
Mhm.
Unbelievable. Just disappointing. Just disappointing. Bancroft, can you bring up that cover I sent you today? Because Twitter's doing that thing again that just doesn't load images.
I hate it when it does that thing.
I don't get it, man. Like, it's
Oh,
crazy.
it was. Oh no, it has worked. Yeah, it wasn't working earlier for me, but it's working now.
Death. Joe Ball funding now. Going well, I'm pretty sure. Crackhead. Mo Big says, Robin Bancroft's friendship not that bad. I asked you a question and I forgot what it was. If you're boring, no one would like you and no one would hate you. That would be tragic.
That's exactly. There you go. I couldn't have said it better myself.
The only party Robocopter was invited to was his own pity party. Anna's unboxing of Starlight Cats led to her crying. Yeah, but I mean,
was she moved by the story?
Can I say this? Females cry a lot.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah. So I mean,
but still, that's pretty good. I've
that's...
never heard of anyone crying from a comic before.
Rob, you should go next door and settle your disputes with Bancroft. Imagine if we live next door to each other. That would be horrendous.
We wouldn't be able to see each other anyway, so
that's true.
We had to yell at each other over the fence.
Well, Devilfish was about to compliment the Replicator on Graveyard Shift 3 supplemental. Might keep it to myself now. Had a few people say they liked it, so I appreciate that, Devilfish. Crackhead says Anna cries every time she sees Baby Yoda. Good to see George here in the chat.
George.
Females cry a lot. They don't realize that feelings are stupid. I know. Rob wants Anna to eat a spoonful of concrete. Anyway, September 15th, there's a launch, Arc Athena. I was lucky enough to get sent the cover pretty much before anyone else.
Cover.
Yeah, the variant cover. So we'll show that now. Eric Canetti, Arc Athena, variant cover. It's sick. I seriously love it. That'll be the one I get. I don't know what it's gonna come in, like if there's a pack you can get it in, like a 3-pack or whatever. But if it's a choice over cover A and cover B, this being cover B, this is the one I'm getting. What do you think, Bancroft?
Yeah, I'll see. I like the other one as well, so I might grab both. They're going to be these are floppies, yeah. These are 32-page floppies, I think.
No.
So I'm not expecting. Are they not? Oh,
they're hardcover.
No, they are. They're
like
hardcovers,
60-page books. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I must have been confused with another story, which is funny because I read the thing and I didn't feel like it was, I
always thought it was pronounced Caneet.
Eric Caneet.
Yeah.
I suppose you could interpret it that way. No, right. Well, in that case, yeah, I'm going to have to make a decision. Because yeah, this cover is pretty rad. This is kind of like it's on the sort of Roquefort level, it's really expressive. The colors are out there. Yeah, I really dig it. And having read it, it is very evocative of what you get inside.
I read like 15 pages, and I'm like, no, I don't want to read anymore till I get it in my hands.
I was thinking I would do the same too, but I was just having
You're enjoying
a
it.
lot of fun. There was one part, and I was like, this guy's crazy. Like, I did not expect this from Eric Canetti,
Mm.
and I just wanted to see more. But it's one of those books where every page is a you never know, you don't know what you're going to get on the next page.
Like a box of chocolates.
No, didn't want to say that, but yeah, I'm spreading fake news, and Eric's in the chat calling me out. So, yeah, 56-page hardcover. There you go.
Crazy. You know, like I don't know if this is you, but like some characters, like I just fall in love with. And I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but this chick with the 4 arms and 4 swords, I think she's sick. I would happily steal her from Eric. If he wants to.
You are a sucker for the swords. I've noticed that.
Oh, mate, it just looks sick. She looks wicked.
Chicks with swords.
I imagine like this is they're all these people are basically you, and I'm lying on the floor. You're about to kill me, just like you did with your bus.
Terrible. There was no bus. There was none of that. What happened is I thought I'd told you. I thought you were involved in the conversation that we had about it. And clearly, maybe you were there, but you weren't at your desk. You'd walked off and put yourself on mute or something. And I just didn't realize. And, so it's really your fault, if anything. But I think you're right. I love this. I love the way that this cover puts you. You're the unseen element in the cover, because they're all kind of pointing right at you. They're all focused on you. It's really cool. And it's going to look great. I don't know if he's going to do a Virgin cover on this, but I mean, it looks like he's left a space up there to put that awesome Arc Athena logo.
That's a good question. Chat, this is a variant. Do you want the Arc Athena logo here? Which you probably can't see my cursor in the top corner, or do you want it Virgin?
Usually for me, the answer is the logo cool? If the logo's cool, put it on there. Like Eric Weathers in the chat with his Battle Brick Road, he's got a great logo. Put it on there. I say.
Yeah,
but not everyone does have a good logo.
But they're spot gloss too, aren't they?
I don't know. I didn't even know it was a hardcover 10 minutes ago. So
I'm like, why am I even asking you questions? It'd be better off asking people in chat.
And we chatted with Eric for a good hour the other day about it. So
yeah, we did, didn't we?
Goes to show how much information I retain.
Eric says, "Yeah, put the Battle Brick Road logo on that cover." Jar Rose popped in here. Clayton's here. Good to see you guys.
Jasper says it looks like X-Men. It's a team book, but it's not like the X-Men. At least not as I remember the X-Men. It is it's its own thing. I'm calling it bombastic, tongue-in-cheek. There's a layer to it. Like, it's actually quite smart, that I'm sure Eric will, if he wants to talk about it, he will talk about it. But it's a lot of fun, and then the art is mind melting.
Crackhead says that's one thing I definitely want to see more of. Spot gloss. Yeah. I think it's sick. It really gives it like a really professional feel. I think that's one of the small reasons, Michael, that your book did so well.
I've gotten a lot of compliments on that, on the actual quality. When you pick it up and you hold it in your hand, and I've not seen people use the spot UV as a storytelling kind of element on the cover. Monster MD has a spot UV on all the characters, so it's a large spot UV. Other people will just highlight certain things, but I've not seen it used in the way that I use it. I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. Even my dad, who's been completely uninterested in, that I'm making a book or sold a book or anything. It's just not in his universe of understanding what this is. But anyway, I gave him a copy and he gave me a call and he was like, wow, this is really impressive. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it's really impressive. And it was good to hear.
Clayton's asking, Dave, loving that new character design. What is it? I love character designs. I think character design is actually one of my favorite parts of comic books. Like, I don't know if you guys are the same, like everyone in chat, but I used to love making up characters when I was a kid. That was like my favorite thing to do. Well, not favorite thing, but favorite thing about comic books was making up characters. Bancroft, you have 11 backers to go. You're like $3,295 away from 50,000. Do you guys think we can do it? Do you think Bancroft can get to 50,000 on Friday? Do you think that's possible?
No, I don't think so. But that's not really the goal, is it? The goal is to get to 1,000.
It's not your goal. It's my goal.
And well, as you always say, the backers, what's important, not the money raised. The money is nice and it helps, but it's the back account that matters. That's more people reading it. That's more people on the mailing list. That's more of it out there. No, Eric, it just goes right up to the. I don't know if you'll be able to see. No, you probably can't. Oh, there was a spot there where it caught the focus, but no. The spine. I don't even know if you should fold. I mean, it seems to be okay in that little indent. It might be okay. I've got no idea though.
I don't know, man. Like, how long do you plan on streaming for? Like, I think there's a chance. It depends if anyone else jumps on. Like any of the bigger guys want to help out or not. And they don't have to. I'm just saying, if that happens, there's a chance. That's all I'm
saying. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know if they're Camel, because it's the same day as Camel Nights, and I don't remember if he said he was going to be taking a week off. But depending on how the show goes, I might have to. He was right here. Are you taking a Camel Moon? Are you taking a week off Camel Nights tonight? Did I remember that, or did I dream that? Was it a waking dream?
Don't have Rob on, guaranteed 50k. Dude, I'll take a hit for the team. You guys don't want me on there and Bancroft makes 50k, I will not be on there. I'll be by myself crying in the corner that no one likes me, but I won't be there. We hit 42,000, which again I think it's just insane that we can raise this sort of money on a comic book, especially from where I came from. Like 96 backers first time round. I think it's crazy. So thank you all so much for that. Let's get into some topics.
Hold on. Camel just said, no episode this week, Hail Salad instead. Well, there you go. If I'm live when Hail Salad launches, we can then he'll say like, oh, but you're taking away my views. if I snipe it. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
If it hits 50k, Rob comes on to sing Can I Borrow a Feeling?
Dressed as Millhouse.
Is Eric Canetti, is there blood? There better be blood. I'll be really disappointed if there's not. What else we got here? Hail Salad, wrapping episode 9. Bancroft is 3295 away. I'll bet someone 4k that he'll hit 50 and just buy the balance. Interesting.
I mean, I don't know. I don't. It doesn't have that trajectory. I don't feel like, I think no one back today. If there was going to be that level of trajectory, I think it'd be kind of picking up. Whereas at the moment, I don't even know if we're going to reach the 1,000 backers. So,
come on, surely you're only, what was it? There was hardly any.
Yeah, but most people who have backed it,
11,
who are going to back it have already backed it. So We'll see. Hello, darling.
Clayton saying Corey is getting very fast and upgrading his art. That's cool. Where are the topics you sold us on, Arnold? All right, let's get into it. So we've kind of had these topics before. So every topic's kind of been brought up before, really. But we're gonna talk about these again in some depth. On Twitter, someone said that books should be completed, before launch, not on the first campaign, but maybe the second and third. What do you think, Bancroft? And what do you guys in chat think? Where do you stand on it, Michael?
Hang on. Say the question again.
So it's your third crowdfunding campaign.
Mm-hmm.
How much of the book should be complete beforehand?
Oh, you're dragging me back into that confusing subject, that subtle difference thing.
Life is about subtle differences.
Because the answer is it depends. It depends on who it is. It depends on their track record. Have they gotten their books out in a timely manner in the previous two campaigns? If they have, then sure, they can put their campaign up with not much of it done. Because they've built trust that that they're a professional and they can get it done. All that jazz. If you don't have a track record, it's going to be a harder sell. But as Eddie says, for some people, especially if you're the writer and you're paying a penciler, inker, colorist, whatever, I mean, you might not have any other option than to launch with only a couple of pages done. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. For me, I worry about myself because I don't have all day to make comic books. So for my next campaign, I'm going to try and get as absolute most done as I possibly can before launching.
You can't have a drawn-in tier if the book is not finished. If the book is finished, that's true. Don't fault anyone for not being complete before launch. I'll have the books drawn before I go for the rest of my BBR campaigns. Yeah. So this is where I'm at on it, right? I think if you're successful on your first book and you've made money, then the goal should be to have as much as you can get done of the second issue before you launch. If you make money again, like you're in profit and you're onto the third issue, you should be trying to get the whole thing done before launch, right? Because I think, like you guys go, it is crowdfunding, and that is correct. It is crowdfunding, but when does it go from crowdfunding to pre-order? Because you're not gonna succeed if you crowdfund a book, have it take a year, then send it out, and then do that process over and over and over again. Like the production needs to speed up, Bancroft.
I understand that sentiment, and I think it's pretty split between the audience. Obviously, people want the books to come out more often. Everyone, I think, agrees with that. There is there's something to what I'm reading here in the chat. That this is crowdfunding, like Camel Moon says. Having the book finished means you're not crowdfunding; you're selling orders. The other alternate argument, I'm not saying this is my argument, is you're crowdfunding production costs and shipping, and then hoping that you're going to be getting a little profit at the end of it. But look, I have no strong opinion either way on this. I think the lateness for most people comes down to inexperience and not understanding how long things take, and not factoring in speed bumps along the way. That was certainly my issue because I was in control of everything essentially.
Mm.
But yeah, I feel like, especially in Comicsgate, we've got a lot of people here who are traditional sort of mainstream comic book readers. They're used to the $3.99 cover price, books coming out monthly, that sort of thing, and they're not. So to them, in their mind, your crowdfund is competing against that. Whereas I think other people, I'm one of them, don't really think of it like that. I'm just backing a creator and their campaign, and I'll get the book when I get it. It's not really an issue for me. I understand it is an issue for a lot of other people.
Well, there seems to be two like distinct arguments one is crowdfunding is for the crowdfund of the book. That's what the funds are for. And the other argument, which is not related to, but is also related to, is backers want books quicker.
Yeah, but is this going to make backers get books quicker? Because there are people out there. Well, maybe there are people out there who, when you say quicker, like just say Shane Davis delivered on time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is quicker than that, or are you talking more like what Eric is doing, where he's getting all these books done so that by the time each campaign ends, they're already kind of shipping out?
Well, I mean, Eric's is an insane example because he does like 6 to 8 pages a week, and I don't think anyone can keep that up.
I think the vast majority of people are happy, like what Antoine says here, assuming the book comes in a reasonable time. I think they're happy, waiting whatever the predefined period is. It's just, a bad state of affairs that most people end up being late. And I sincerely put that down to the fact that most people crowdfunding, if they're not amateurs in terms of making comics, they're amateurs in terms of crowdfunding, meaning this is their first or second time doing it ever.
Mm-hmm.
And as Shane famously said, this is the hardest thing he's ever had to do in comic books. So I underestimated this whole process at almost every step. I know a lot of other people have, and it's a massive achievement to anyone like Shane, like Phil Diaz, like Eddie, who can actually get their campaigns out on time at all. So, yeah, I don't know if this issue is going to solve that issue necessarily.
Having all the work done beforehand would be great and all, but I'll settle for books coming out on time instead. That makes me ask another question, right? I mean, what is on time, right? If we do a campaign and we say the book's going to take a year to deliver, is that acceptable for you? Like, what's the rules
for
there?
me it is, but I know for a lot of guys it isn't. Like you step outside of Comicsgate bubble into the indie world bubble, then yeah, you're going to run into a lot of people who they're like, no, $25 for a book that I get a year later. No, even if the creator puts that as their deadline, they're like, no way in hell. So that's a deal breaker for them. Inside CG, it seems to be perfectly acceptable. For me personally, doesn't bother me at all. I'm just as amped. Actually, I'm more amped today to read Death Swan than I was when I backed it 2 years ago. So I'll wait as long as it takes. It doesn't bother me. Even stories that are part of series, it's like, yeah, I mean, I'll just keep waiting. But I do understand that yeah, I'm not everybody. I don't share the opinions of the majority, probably.
You're asking generic questions, which doesn't work. Replicator is 32 pages versus the Lucent, which is 48. It's not the same.
Lucent is 60 actually.
Yeah, but is it though, really? Part of the fun of crowdfunding
I get the point, George. Thank you.
Is the wait and anticipation of the product. Yes, Camel Moon, it is, but if it's the second, third, fourth, fifth issue, is that not going to harm you in the long run if you're waiting a year?
Well, how
for
many
every
people
single
have
one of
done
those
that?
books?
Let's look at Brian Pulido. He's probably the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how long people have to wait for the
No.
Lady? Is it Lady Death?
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems to have no problem. Someone in the chat might know.
Where's Rick Saylor? Rick would know. Rick was here.
I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm more than happy following the European one book a year long book model. For now, I would love to get faster, but that's just not on the cards for me. But yeah, I'm happy with that model for me personally. I see George says the longer you take, the more time you're giving people to lose interest. Absolutely, that's 100% understood. And I guess that's why the sort of promotional side of things is so imperative to keep people's interest in check. And it's a kind of it's a strange, it's a kind of unique thing to independently made comic books. You get something different out of them that you don't get in anything else. It's not like a novel where you usually get this really long, enclosed story all the time. It's not like a movie because it's a comic. It's not like it's its own thing. And, for better or worse, part of that is there's a creation period. People got to wait. And then when they get the thing, it's kind of finished in 10 to 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't see any way around that.
With the Lucent, right? You've started work on Painted Death.
Mm-hmm.
You've done a lot of it, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll follow the same method going forward. Like when you finish Painted Death, you'll launch the third one. You'll have some of that done beforehand as well.
Yep, that's the plan.
My concern is that people are saying the crowdfund is to get the whole book done after it's raised its money. I don't think people are going to wait around for that every single time.
Again, not to harp on, but it probably just depends. Some people can get their shit done quickly and others can't. And as was pointed out by Mo earlier, some people like myself said the book is pretty much done when I launched it. And that was my fault because I didn't realize what done actually meant. And on top of that, I got an editor and everything. So, but yeah, so, even in those cases where the book is mostly drawn and then it still ends up taking a year and 2 months to get to the printers. It's, I think it really depends. Whereas you've got other people who legitimately can, whack out an entire 48-page book in 4 months, 3 or 4 months. I don't know how long it takes them.
We've got a lot of good comments here. George says, the longer you take, the more time you're giving people to lose interest. Very true. You put in rules on smaller creators that don't apply to the big fish. Shane, John, EVS take quite a while to complete their books. That's totally okay as long as they let me know. It's an interesting point. Jasper says it's not fun if you wait on 20 plus books. For Replicator, the model should be every 6 months because it's shorter and serialized. Self-contained one-offs or 64 pages thereabouts is good for the annual model. There is no way I'd be able to fund Replicator, start it and finish it in 6 months if I was not working ahead of schedule. Like if I was not working on Replicator 4 when I'm doing Replicator 3, there's no way it would happen. You couldn't get it done.
Yeah, but you can still do that. You can still do that and you know, when you say have almost like all the book done, you didn't necessarily. Maybe you have half the book done. Maybe you have a third of the book done. Maybe you have like not all work is equal. Sometimes the bulk of the real meat of the work happens in the first sort of 30% of it. So yeah, I think you're right. You couldn't just do it all bank like that, but I don't necessarily think that is the question that you posed.
Bancroft is hoping we'll lose interest in the wrenchies. Man, he's dropped the ball on that.
Fucking A, I haven't hoped that. That will happen.
This applies to all, in my opinion. Eddie, Shane, and Malin delivered on time, though. Malin was late, though, wasn't he? Like, wasn't Graveyard Shift 3 late? Is that what you're talking about, or no?
Marginally.
I'm with George on that one. Memory holes are awful, and it often happens in this day and age of short attention spans. Updates to your backers helps. If I'm kept in the loop, I'm more forgiving. The waiting is the hardest part.
You can't just put a book out and then say see you next year and disappear off the internet and expect to have the same level of engagement as you did the first time round. That's why that's why the Comicsgate model works, because we try and keep that interest going through entertainment on YouTube. And also at the same time build new readers and new audiences, and hopefully constantly be selling previous copies of your book.
That chat you had with Adam Lawson was really interesting today. We might talk about that too. Passion says, I could get more stuff out. It's just a money issue. I barely make 5 figures on a campaign. Yeah, and that's my point too. Like, if you made profit, like that's what the goal should be. A lot of people aren't. They're not making a lot of money on these campaigns. People shouldn't have to get the whole book done before time to get it out on time, having some finished, and then find out how long it will take to do the rest. Add a cushion, make that your deadline. I don't think people, and like myself included, yourself included, realize how big the cushions really are. Like you have one delay with your printer. That's like what, 2 weeks to a month.
Yeah, Malin talked about this, how they compound.
Yeah.
Every delay you have, it could be a week because of one guy, but then that pushes out so much, and then as you get down from guy to guy to guy, all the way back to the letterer, now all of a sudden it's ballooned out to 4 months. And man, it's crazy how it can just go by, those months. They just fly by when you're late.
Yeah.
I know that from experience.
And it's like you probably think in your mind, what's the best possible, like best case example, like best case
scenario.
Yeah. And it's never the best case. It's always the worst case scenario.
Isn't that Murphy's Law? I know that's anything that can happen will happen, but it kind of fits.
It's like announcing a movie or video game. It almost never happens where you see a Marvel trailer and Spider-Man drops in theaters the next day. It can take years. Yeah, but like movies and video games are a whole different like kettle of fish. Like this is small. We're building backers by like the individuals. We don't have that kind of pull or marketing power. I don't think it's like an accurate.
I don't think it's about size actually. I think the difference is the medium, and I don't want to say resigned because that's got a negative connotation, but I just accept that these are comic books or graphic novels. You're going to get a shorter amount of story than you would from a novel or a movie. Some of the time it's going to be like watching a series TV show, 1 episode a year or something. I mean, that's just kind of how it is, but I don't see any way around that. I think it's part of the medium. These things take a long time to draw. There's no way around that until Comic Blast can sort us all out and put us all out of a job. And again, a lot of people doing it are like me, amateurs who are, working full time,
Yeah.
and we don't have any way out of that situation for the foreseeable future. So,
And that is something that I bring up a lot. And the difference between working like full time at a job and then as opposed to working full time on the actual comic is night and day. We'll touch on that a bit later. Would folks rather wait 6 months for a 40-page book or wait a year for a 72-page book? Asking for a friend. I think time is relative. No one wants to be late. It's about the product shipping. If it takes the manufacturer 8 months to make standees for me, I can't change that, for example. Yeah, but I mean, if it takes 8 months to make standees, is that something you would do? Like, are people going to be happy waiting 8 months for a standee? I don't know. I'm asking. What do you think, Bancroft?
just a standee? What question was that?
Camel Moon. It's done the skip thing again. God, I hate it when it does that. The chat's going off. Lord Crackhead. Creators also need to remember, especially the new ones, most of the fans buy books here. That is very true. There are a lot of new campaigns that have so much stuff on them that you don't know where to go. Some people just want the book. That's all they want. Especially the first campaign, Bancroft. Like, most people just want the book for the first campaign. Find out if it's something they like, if they like the person, and then the next time round, maybe they'll back something else at a higher thing.
Well, I mean, I essentially only offered, initially at least, the book. You could get a head sketch and a poster. Everything else everyone gets. So I agree with that as well. But on the other hand, some people are making some really cool stuff that I have nothing against them making, and I think it's actually really cool. And it's a sort of it's a supply and demand issue. If the market wants it and you can afford to make it, go for it. I think some of these things are really cool. I know I definitely would like to get into some of that stuff. But yes, first and foremost, it's the book. Oh, George says puzzles. Yeah, I forgot the puzzle. The best thing about the puzzle is I didn't have to do anything. You upload an image to a website and they send it. It's like
I know, with the posters, I had to get them printed, ship them myself. They took hours to ship because you got to roll them up and you got to put things. Exactly. And you're just sitting there on your puzzles. Stoneman says, I haven't received my graveyard shift yet. Me neither. I hope I'll get it soon as well. Ultraman Schnelly, Clint is having problems, but because he has a good track record, I'm happy to wait. We're going to talk about printers. I don't know if Bancroft wants to, but
everyone is just, sitting on the edge of their seat, waiting for me to talk about printers again. Yes, it's what they get up in the morning for, I'm sure.
Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. That's so true.
That's Murphy's Law, I think. Anything that can happen will happen. So that includes things that go wrong.
This is a good question. Why do backers back to support the creator, get regular installments of a series, to collect something unique and made with love? I wonder what factors in most. See, this kind of touches on what I was trying to say earlier. I think at the start it's to support the creator and get the book, but over time, I think, it's still going to be the same. You're still going to be supporting the creator, but you're going to be wanting to get that book more frequently. That's all I'm saying.
To me, I agree with the start of it. I think I back people because I like them. I like what they're doing. I want to support them. And then I also like the look of what they're making. I don't care as much about the book, what it is, the story, the characters. But I think you're right. Over time, and this hasn't happened yet, but over time, I'm hoping that I will really be invested in the story. And I really need to know what happens to this character. It hasn't happened yet. And that's just purely, I think, because, kind of. I don't think I'm past an issue 2 yet, and I think that's just normal. You know, it probably might take a bunch of issues, or I mean, if they're longer stories, maybe not as many, but yeah.
Even the mainstream comics are in production months before they go on pre-order. Just because you don't see the sausage being made doesn't mean it isn't happening. CG offers something that other companies don't. Watching YouTube, having fun, it's not really comparable. Yep. Do you see more effort in the book than you would if you were in-house? I don't know what you're referring to there.
Do you put more effort into the book? Well, never having worked on anything else other than my own book, I don't think I can really answer that question.
I mean, it's done the jump thing. No one mentions how marketing eats into your time budget. That's a crazy amount of time.
I think people do mention it. It's insane.
I mean, sometimes like it feels like you're out there screaming about your book, like just yelling it out into the like a crowd. But you're in comparison to others, you're a small fish, so it doesn't really travel as far. I'm liking how your boy has trimmed down all of his new campaigns just to the book. Shaney B, hello all, long time and all that. Good to see Shaney. Bend the corners while you're rolling them up.
That's a poster shipping tip from Jim Cox.
I changed all the way I shipped them because I had a couple of damaged ones, so they should be all good now. Creators need to remember new creators, especially fans that have been in this space for a while and have been back in late books for almost 4 years. It's not year one anymore, where late books are one of two.
No, I think and then he was probably responding to that.
Are the norm. It's getting to the point where those of us have been here since the beginning are getting tired of it. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Someone had a list of all the late books, and there's a lot of them, man. There's a lot of late books.
I think most books are late. I think it's a rarity that a book arrives on time, and those creators who pull it off need to be lauded and recognized for that achievement. Because it is a big achievement, clearly, because it's so rare.
You may like a creator, but the longer they go past their due date, you start liking them less and less. I'm so sorry, George. Excellent Bancroft. Printed talks is my first topic of choice.
I don't know if they're sarcastic anymore.
Let's have a look. From what I've seen, coming late into the game and being a noob to it all, people are starting to put more focus on the additions for the perks than content at time. Is that a way to compensate? I don't know. Newer CG fans don't have back air fatigue like some of his older ones do, I think. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of late books. I'm late, Bancroft's late, but you're nearly shipped now. You're nearly done. Must feel great.
I think Mel's packing up some of the last ones. I do have 5 head sketches left to finish, but they're about halfway done. And then I do have the page art I need to get onto. I do that every night. That's I come in, I have dinner, and then I sit down with the family. They watch TV, and I do the art, whether it's head sketches, sketch cards, or page art. But other than that, yeah, I think we're done. Done. I mean, obviously, whoever backs from now on.
What if, I know I mentioned to you, a couple of the best moments I found was getting the book, printed in your hands was probably one. And the other best moment was when everything was shipped.
No, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie anymore. I'm not gonna pretend that it was the best moment ever when I got it in my hands.
Well, not ever. In the process of comic making.
No.
Wow.
To me, the most enjoyable part is writing, hands down. I really love the writing. Maybe that's because the art takes so long compared to the writing. No, the best part so far, other than the writing, has been hearing from people who liked it, and even hearing from people who didn't like it. At least you're hearing from someone who read your book. To me, the feedback is the best part, especially the people who like it. It really encourages you to continue. Essentially, it's like a refueling. Because if we're working like 16-hour days, your tank starts getting on empty. But if you get a message or a comment from someone who's like, I just read it, and I really intrigued, I like this, I wonder where this is going, I'm like, yeah, it's like a lighting a fire under me. So I didn't actually get that feeling, because I think I was just really scrutinizing it. I'm like, is it perfect? Could this have been better? I was really anxious, essentially. It was just anxiety when I got my book and then shipped them out. You just don't know how people are going to respond to it.
And we'll talk about that, because it's been okay. I like Bancroft. I don't care if his book is months late. Rob, 2 weeks max.
I'm working hard on it. I think we're halfway. I think we're over halfway on the colors. So
yeah,
that's good.
It's getting there. And it looks great. It really does. Yes, I mean, you're getting reviews now, and the majority of them are really positive. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, they have been. People have been getting it. And when I say getting it, they mean getting what I'm trying to do. I'm not saying they understand what the lesson is all about. And I was talking to Adam and Joe just earlier. Adam really digged it. He was like, I get what you're doing here. I'm really into it. And that's cool. And I'm so happy to find people who actually enjoy this kind of thing, because I was unaware. I just didn't know like how many people are going to actually be into something like this. It's very different. It's unique. It's a different way of doing things. So I got a great review from Cooper, Telepathic Bunny Comics. I got a couple of other really nice video reviews. I did get a negative one. I think he gave me an F, which seemed a bit harsh.
Damn.
But it was just not at all what he was wanting, what he wants from a comic book, in terms of what I delivered. And I thought I'd made it pretty clear along the way.
Really?
No, not the plot and not the story. That's the point. See, that's the problem. Is he didn't want a story where you don't know everything that's happening, and whereas I'm like, that's what I like. So everything that he doesn't like in storytelling, apparently, is what I like.
Yeah.
So there was just a disconnect. I thought I'd made it kind of clear what kind of story the book was, but not for him apparently. And then that's fine. There was some pretty good constructive criticism in his video. So any constructive criticism you get, you take it on board. I mean, that's the stuff that lasts with you. That's you can really use that to improve as you on further books, and we can all improve. There's no one who's putting out a perfect book. So
you've got to be careful though with constructive criticism. You have to take it on board if it's accurate, if it's legitimate. If it's someone that just is wanting to hate for hate's sake, you've got to be able to separate that as well.
Well, I think there's a danger in saying just ignore the haters, because then you just might end up being dismissive like a SJW. And people have genuine critiques. I think you should listen to them. And but that doesn't mean to say I'm going to totally change what I'm doing now because a couple of people or a bunch of people, or maybe even 100 people, whatever it is, don't like it. They don't like this kind of story.
Is my camera flickering again? Is that what's happening?
No, it sounds like it's me. Is it because I'm waving my hands around?
I don't know. Mo has something for you. I thought I made it clear what kind of story the book was. Oh, fuck off, Bancroft. Did you have to hold Mel back from tracking that person down?
She is not taking it well. But
No.
she's not made for this. My idea is, what's the alternative? You can just never put out anything creative in your life because people aren't going to like it. That's not an option for me. Whereas Mel's like, yes, I would never put myself out there creatively for this specific reason. But no, I think you got to put yourself out there and take the licks. It can't all be, I love your book, this is amazing, can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, I think like you actually learn more from the constructive criticism than you do
Definitely, yeah.
anything else.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
my first constructive criticism review, I took it like an absolute dickhead. Like I emailed the guy, I'm like, yeah, exactly. I emailed the guy, I'm like, oh, so there's stuff I can improve on, like, you know, and you know, he didn't respond. And ever since then, I've completely flipped that around because that is just an absolute dickhead way to act. And you know, some people are just trying to help you make your work better, and you got to take it on board, even if it is hard to hear. It's kind of like getting stabbed, but the knife gives you a power up at the same time. So it's fantastic. I remember that email. I cried.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of the things that he's critical of are things I'm 100% aware of. So it's not like it's a surprise to me. I knew the kind of thing I was making when I got into it. And I knew that, you know, certain things people are not gonna like this because, you know, they want a different kind of story from comic books. You know, I tried to say that's not what I'm delivering here, but you know, if that didn't come across wherever, then they're going to be disappointed. So, but other than that, overall, I mean, I'm feeling better than I have about it ever, really. So, yeah,
that's awesome, man. That's really cool. It must seem like it's all worthwhile.
It does. It makes it, yeah. Getting feedback from actual readers really does make it all worthwhile. It really is like a refueling of all of your batteries, and you just feel like you can you know, charge forward at 110%. You know, I feel great about my story and what I've got and what I know I've got, and you know, I you know, to anyone who, and I know Antoine said like it feels like it could be better if it was presented as a whole. Yep, 100%. And if there was a way I could do that, I would. But you know, hopefully people get this taste of it and like what they read and want more, and are prepared to wait for it. I'm going to change my color because Passion says I look jaundiced.
Are you feeling this, Bancroft?
I'm feeling
I love almost every version of that song.
It is. It's a good song, isn't it?
That's a particularly good version, though.
It's important to know when you receive legit criticism from your own audience versus a criticism from people who simply prefer a different kind of book. Yep. Very true.
I think that's exactly what I got. I think the guy who gave me the F was actually pretty objective. I don't know if the F is fair, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not losing any sleep over it, even if Mel is. So yeah, I think that's exactly what happened there. There was a massive disconnect in the kind of story he wanted to read and the kind of story he got.
Has she been sharpening any knives in the kitchen? That would be my concern.
She got some That's like a set of 5 knives. So I broke all of her other knives, being a Japanese sushi maker for the kids. And so she had to get some new ones, and they're very sharp. No one's allowed to touch them.
More stupid feelings, feeling good.
Sheev, I just think he gave the story an F. I think he was actually pretty positive on the the quality and the art and stuff overall. I think
Are
it
you
was
able
just
to
the story.
remove reviews which aren't relevant or productive to stop to reflect poorly on the overall rating? I wouldn't do it. I'd leave it up there. I think that's fine.
What do you mean remove them? Remove them from what?
He's probably talking like if it's on Amazon or something like that, which it's not. But I understand what he's got in that.
No, well, I mean it can be. They didn't even necessarily hinder sales. Like if someone is constructive in the way that they deliver their critique, that could actually convince you. They're like, oh, this reads like a this, that, and that. And you're like, oh, well, I actually really like that stuff. All right, I'll get that.
Hey, I give this stream an F-.
Well, the only way is up.
I'm thinking of buying the Lucent, but I don't want to feel stupid if I don't understand it. Don't worry, man. You won't feel stupid if you don't understand it. I didn't.
I mean, I know it's a joke and a trope and a silliness at the moment, but it's been written like a bit like a puzzle. You get pieces, but you're not you don't get all of the information. Actually, a lot of the information is in the story, hidden in subtext and like metaphor and iconography and stuff. But no, there's a lot of people, like the first one from Cooper said, I mean, I don't know what's happening, but I really enjoyed it and enjoy the intrigue and everything. So no, definitely do not feel stupid if you don't.
So if you're saying that if someone reads the book, they have to think about things.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you this.
That's already a hard sell for me.
I've said this before. Everyone knows it was up on Webtoon. Yeah. I had readers send me either an email or in the comment section of when it was on Webtoon who figured out pretty much the entire thing, the entire world that I'd created from that one issue. So it is in there. It's just very hidden. But
what is it?
As the series, I'm not going to tell you. That's the whole fun. This is what I'm saying. Like it's very close to when I say it's like it's inspired by The Matrix. The Matrix was a movie though, and in a movie, you've got a clear kind of 3-act structure, and you need to have certain things explained by certain times of the movie, otherwise you can't progress. This is a graphic novel. I can do kind of different things, and one of the things that I didn't love about The Matrix was that they revealed all the mystery sort of by the second act, by the time that comes around. So it's like a lot of the fun was jettisoned.
I gotta
in a
say,
graphic novel, you can stretch that shit out. You can have fun with it. I don't know. That's what I like to do. But
I gotta say, I'm gonna get attacked. I'm gonna get called a weeb. But some of my favorite manga have characters that you don't know who they are, and it's only revealed like at the end, and then you're trying to figure out who that person could possibly be the whole time.
That's exactly what is going to happen in this story.
And then
not everyone, but one big character, it's going to be, that's the whole point, is like, who the hell is this?
Dweeb, kick Rob.
Dweeb. Yeah, and to me, I find that to be really fun because as a reader or as a viewer, if it's in a TV show, you even Mel's you theorize, you have theories. I reckon that is him, and that it's the same guy in here and everything. And the part of the fun about it is as the series continues and you get more books, you can go back and now see the stuff that was hidden to you when you first read, say, this first book. because you didn't understand the connections yet. But it was all in there from the beginning. That's the sort of stuff that I like in stories. So that's kind of
Remember
what
how
I'm going
cool
for.
Wolverine was when we knew nothing about him? Better times. George would prefer if we still knew nothing about him.
Well, that's
As long-
the what's that meme? A fantastic thing of Mandalorian. He took off his mask. Usually the normally says like nobody cared about me until I put on the mask. With the Mandalorian, it's like nobody cared when I took off my mask. Like, he was so much a cooler character when no one knew who he was.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not a huge Mandalorian fan, I gotta say. I don't think many books, shows, whatever you want to call it, actually stick the landing at the end. Like, I think a lot of them fail. Game of Thrones, Attack on Titan, failure after failure.
Some do.
Breaking
Not super
Bad was good.
successfully. Breaking Bad was okay. I think the start of the show was a lot better than the ending.
Agreed. But it still wrapped it up pretty well.
Yeah, I think, you're right though. It is very difficult to land an ending. But that's kind of why I think a lot of them don't have it figured out when they
like
start.
this.
There you
Thanks,
go.
Camel.
I couldn't make this first book unless I knew exactly what's going to happen all the way through.
Yeah, my ending was set from the start, so I can't wait to
Because
get
you got to
there.
build up to it. You can't just Game of Thrones it.
Yeah, and you can't just bring your character out in the first issue, give him magical superpowers,
or even the second or third.
You're like, you got to build that up. Like, he's got to go through some stuff. He's got to have that character development. Yeah, it's exactly right. I agree, Rob. But I think in a long series, the viewer has developed their own theories in their head. When they don't pan out how the viewer wanted, it feels like a letdown. It's very true. If you don't have a destination, why get in the car?
Some things like Breaking Bad have an inevitable end. Like, he was always going to go down. Sorry, spoiler alert. He was always going to go down. It was just a matter of how and who would he drag down with him. Hal GK, thank you very much. Look at that, 990.
Mate, you on this show, you just rack up backers.
I know.
It's just crazy, is it not?
It's pleasant, yes.
I think it's time again. Oh, hang on, it's doing that thing. It lost its impact now that I've had to share it twice.
And I'm feeling.
Rob, you can get these as videos that you put in your.
I'm feeling good.
I like the Muse version too. He uses the megaphone with the microphone at some point.
What version?
Muse. Muse, the band. You don't know Muse. They're just like a massive, one of the biggest bands of the 2000s.
Muse.
Oh my God. And you say, like,
Muse.
this is the guy who says there was no Spider-Man comics available or Batman comics.
Let's see if I know this. Rob. Mike, please do not admit to being a fan of Muse.
Muse were awesome in the 2000s. They were good. Mel and I went to their gig. We've been to Metallica, Pearl Jam. Who else have we been to? A few loud bands. Muse were by far, like Carnival. Muse were by far the loudest. It was the loudest show.
I was reminded of the one good thing that France produced. Yeah.
All right, Shakespeare. What hath thou produced?
They had to have something in their history.
French have
Hang on.
invented a lot. A lot.
I bet Mel loves this.
What is it?
How many viewers are we going to bleed right now?
What are you doing?
I'm showing you the best thing France has ever produced.
Encore une fois.
I legitimately don't know what this is.
Please stop.
I agree,
House
George.
music,
Bien, messieurs, le disc jockey Zach est de
dislike,
retour.
rubs on new meds. How do you not know this, Mel? This is from France. This is from
Yeah,
France.
Listen to George, please. Please stop this now.
I'll listen to that by myself later.
Please do. No, the French have invented
Mm-hmm.
a large portion of your favorite movies and songs
Oh,
that end up getting remade into American
good movies.
and English songs.
Yeah, so they made like rubbish, and then someone's
No,
come
no,
along.
no. They're
Someone's come
hugely
along,
popular.
fixed it all up, and then made it good. Is that what you're saying?
Hugely popular movies and songs. And there you go. Yeah, we saw Daft Punk as well. Now that was a great show. Cuisine, exactly. They what else did they come up with?
Movies. You said movies and music, and you haven't given any specific examples. I mean, you're really selling it
They
here.
make good comic books too. This is the comic book show, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes.
Mobius.
The French have the best powdered wigs.
Mais oui.
Right. Well, I mean,
Cheese,
I'm just
wine, champagne.
I can't see anything from chat saying how good the French things. The French are good at arrogance.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Just Asterix is good. I do like Asterix. I was
loved
brought up
Asterix
on
when I was a
Asterix.
kid.
Yeah.
I had one of
It's
those.
one of the three comics that I had in my house. You know,
I had one of
because I didn't
those
have Spider-Man
choose your
because I
own
wasn't
adventure
rich.
versions. It was great.
Bancroft.
Oh, Billy says French kissing. There you go.
Did you have the Lone Wolf Choose Your Own Adventure books? Did you guys have that in chat as well? We'll get there, Jasper. Hang on. Did you have? Do you have the Lone Wolf books?
No.
Okay. Printers Bancroft.
Printers. Yep. We're finally getting to the meat of it. What everyone's here for.
Let's do it.
Passion. Get ready. Sit down in your chair. We're about to talk printing again.
George says we had Choose Your Own Adventures book, Robs. Yeah, did you have the Lone Wolf series though? They were sick. I loved those. Printers, man. You must be like, you don't get angry. I mean, I do that for you. Like, you tell me things and then I get angry and yell.
I get extremely frustrated.
Mm.
Is that good enough?
I mean, you could elaborate a little bit. I mean,
what else is there to say? I took me 4 printers to print my friggin' print my friggin' preview book font, all of them. And if we sell too many, if we go too high over 1,000, I'm gonna have to get another bunch reprinted as well. Although he is very quick, so it won't be an issue.
George is commenting that he can't believe he's been watching it.
I can't believe it either, George.
Time must have flown, George, because it's.
Mel says he's going to make a video about Mix'em. Yeah,
yes.
I talked to Adam as well. He's made a great comment. Adam is a great guy, and I think he has a lot of insights.
Lawson.
Adam Lawson.
Yeah.
He's someone we should all be listening to.
Dude, I mean, he comes at everything from a completely different angle to what everyone else
thinks
does.
Big. He thinks big. He thinks long term. Anyway, he said he said, who'd you go with first? I went mix them, and he's just like, nah, man. Look at just think, and I would never think like this. He said, mix them, try and make it as easy as possible for you to just send them an email and then they put out your book. You know, there's no person you speak to. There's no one sort of at the helm. It's all automated. That's the last company you should be going to send your, you know, this thing that you've been working on for a year, slaving over day in, day out. You want to go with a company that's going to be, you know, taking your phone call and listening to what your project is about and everything like that. Forget quality control. Forget them treating your book like it's a collectible, which is what Clint brought up as well. They're just not going to do that. You can get lucky, and a lot of people have. You know, I haven't heard anything bad about the print job from Graveyard Shift or Starlight Cats. There's others as well. But it's so hit and miss. It is so hit and miss.
Printer talk has never gone viral on any platform. Well, maybe it's the time right now, Passion. Maybe it's the time right now. I like to think of printers like a telecom company, right? Have you ever had problems with a telecom company, Bancroft?
Who calls it a telecom company? Who?
I'm trying to make it relatable for our American friends.
A
I don't know
phone
what they call
company?
it over there. Yeah, like in a phone, an internet company. Whatever you want to call it.
I'm calling up the telecom.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Yes. Continue.
Everything
Everything
is
is telegram
fine.
to the telecom company.
Yes. Everything is fine, right?
Yep.
All the time until you have a problem and then you're screwed. Right? So 99% of people won't have an issue. Everything will be okie dokie. Everyone will be happy. But that one person gets screwed over horrendously. That's what printers are like.
Yeah. And Peter Samedi gave me that advice. And he gave that advice to Artsy Bear as well. He said, don't ever get comfortable with your printer, because they'll do, you know, 12 jobs in a row perfectly. And then on the 13th, it's bad. And you're exactly right. Then now all of a sudden, they're hard to get a hold of. And, you know, you've got to really kind of put your foot down. Whereas up until then, everything's been really easy to manage. So yeah, I think you are right on that one.
And like, they definitely make it difficult. Like, it's just a volume thing, right? They'll just do print job after print job. And whenever they have one that screws up, they'll be difficult to deal with in the hopes that the person is just going to give up.
I've noticed that the chat is now no longer participating in the conversation that we're having, and they're just talking to each other.
So that means we're doing really good and that they're enjoying the conversation?
And just pointing it out. I'm not seeing Passion in the chat anymore either.
Passion left. Who else left? There was a few people. Ryan Johnson. Rob trying to draw all the boomers in here with his telecom company talk.
Well, Passion is there. Thank you for hanging in there, buddy.
Don't worry about me.
I appreciate it.
Weebhab is going great.
People thought I was a weeb for a whole morning because I had a single piece of printed paraphernalia.
Dude, everyone thinks you're
letters on it.
Everyone thinks you're a weeb. Like, you're on Weebtoons.
Some person, and that's an actual person, I'm just saying some person, underneath that comment says, what are you going to do with all the Mangle comics? I suggest a bonfire stream. We just bought a fire pit. We could do that. We could do a bonfire stream.
Can I teach you how to make fire arrows?
What, like you did with your friend?
Yeah, do you have a bow? I can teach you how to make fire arrows, and you can shoot it like the Olympics.
What is with you? You have a bow, and you're using the telecom. You only read Asterix. Something going on here that's not good. Old man Arnold.
Social security talk, telephone company talk. Bancroft is a weeb. Yeah, you are.
In what way am I a weeb? Honestly,
You're on Weebtoons.
I was on Webtoons. I don't watch the anime that anyone else watches.
And here is another way that you threw me under the bus, right?
Oh, here we
Months
go.
ago, I'm pretty sure it was me, came up with the idea of we'll do a shoey when you complete fulfillment, which I assume would be on this closing stream that I'm not invited to.
No, you said complete fulfillment.
Well, I assume it would be on this closing stream that I'm not invited
You know
to.
what they say about making assumptions?
That
we
they're
can
always
do
right.
a shoey. We can do a shoey, Rob, but no, I will not have completed fulfillment because presumably we would be closing the campaign on the stream. So how would I have completed fulfillment if I'm getting back as that night?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. You haven't really
Don't
thought
come at
this
me with
complaint
logic.
through.
Here's a question for you guys in chat. This has happened to me recently. I don't know if it's happened to you guys. We can't go to the post office, George, anymore. We're not allowed outside
That's not
to do
going to happen
anything
this year, probably, unfortunately.
That's crazy. Do you guys look to back books and then when you go to see the shipping costs, does that stop you? That has stopped me a couple of times recently.
It stopped me 3 or 4 times very recently, and it's just such a shame because I really want the books. And even one of them, which was I waited for the omnibus, hoping that I'd get, it's a cheaper shipping to price ratio, and I think it was like $60 or something. So it was just as bad. Exactly, it was more expensive because the thing was heavier. I mean, it seems like it's obviously probably a non-American thing, but Skits, after George really loved it,
Jeez.
I was reminded of that I had wanted to back Skits back in the day, and the shipping was $30, and I just
on what? Skits? On Skits.
And even though I've heard nothing but great things and I wanted to support him, I sent him a message of like, guys, I'm sorry, I would have backed you. I really want to read your book, dream books together. But that was another one that I couldn't do. It's a shame.
Look at this though. Look at chat. Yes. Yes.
All Australians and non-Americans.
Yes.
Mostly.
No and no from George. Yes. Shipping was a joke. Shipping double the cost of a book, triple if you buy a Doug to Naple book. Back the second campaign and get both books. Help save on shipping. Yeah, that's interesting.
That's what I thought I would do with
She again.
It was a big thick book. So.
Yes. Shipping's going to be our biggest hurdle in CG. This is something I think about because, like, you got guys like Oliver from Mexico, right? 656 guys. Their shipping is really cheap.
Well, that makes sense.
Maybe it's an idea if your shipping is cheaper than the standard, put that on the campaign somewhere.
If anyone's going to set up a shipping hub, they would do it in a country like Mexico or Brazil or Latvia, where those puzzles come out of. You get like $12 worldwide shipping. It takes 3 days.
It's crazy.
Because those countries, they have cheaper shipping than the States. The States shipping internationally is crazy. But elsewhere around the world, you want to ship into other countries from anywhere but the States, it sounds.
They're from Texas. Yeah, the shipping from Alterna was no joke, man. I said I'd get the collector's case, and because I said it, I got it, but the shipping was insane. I think it was as much as the actual collector case itself. I'm like, far out. Shipping all over is going to skyrocket in the near future. Renting cargo shipping containers went from 2K to 21K. That's crazy.
That is true. Yeah, well, I know that from the business of my job. But I don't think many people ship in shipping containers, at least individual.
They
books.
fulfill
But
from
yeah,
Texas.
that's a real issue.
How strange. They fulfill from Texas.
Yeah, most of them are in the States, dude.
But wasn't... Oh, maybe I'm thinking of someone else that had like Brazil, maybe.
Yeah, you're thinking of Thomas Moria.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was the one we were like, dude, why are you shipping so cheap? He's like, that's how much it costs.
It's crazy.
Cost of living is low there.
Yeah, Aussies pay double, so if they back you, they are super fans. Yeah, it's a shame though, because like there was a few books that I wanted to get, or like I was on the fence, but I thought, yeah, I'll back them because I'm interested in the book. I like these people, and then you see the shipping's like 25 US, and you're just like, I've got so much money tied up in artists at the moment that it's right at this second, I just can't do it. I can't do it until I know where everything is. It's crazy.
Speaking of shipping, I paid my shipping bill today to Australia Post. That is actually it's going to be significantly more overall to pay for shipping than the printing. So yeah, there's that. I think that might be the biggest single bill I've ever paid. It was well north of 10,000.
Dollary dues for everyone in chat.
Dues. Yeah. Yeah. But you know,
just admit you don't back books, Rob. I do, man. Bancroft, I'd be interested to see who's backed more books, me or you.
Well, I can tell you because I had my 100th campaign backed the other day.
Well,
and
I mean, I'm
in
less
style.
Now that you say that, I'm less curious to see who has more.
And in style, I was the 100th backer on Death, and it was
really
it was my 100th project backed. Now that's like the planets aligning right there.
You were super keen on Death.
Yeah, because it's all about, kind of Nephilim and giants and all that ancient Bible stuff that I can't get enough of that stuff. Anyone puts that stuff in their story, I love that. The history isn't quite what we've been led to believe kind of stories.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that stuff.
This is a good point, GK1. Shipping charges kind of force you to get the bigger tiers. Buying a 25 book with 25 shipping doesn't seem worth it, even with the perks. It's a good point.
Antoine points out that I didn't pay for the shipping. The back is, I understand that, Antoine. I'm just saying it's a big amount at once to like zip out of your bank account. I don't think I've ever done that before. That high.
Joe Ball, Death. This is what you backed.
I did. I got the black and white hardcover.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would go for as well. It is cool that we did the critique on the campaign and then he changed it. I mean, that's the idea. Like, it's trying to help people if we can.
Cool guy, Joe. Joe, John, Joe. Joe, John, Johnny, Jojo.
Very detailed.
Oh, Ryan Blue Thunder got to loosen yesterday. Fantastic.
Sweet.
Yeah, Mel will be happy to hear. Perfect packaging. That's another thing people are saying. Like, it is packed up tight, but it kind of has to be.
Have you received like any photos of where it looks like it's just been thrown into like a blender?
No, but a couple of people showed me where it looks like on none on the smaller ones, and think we ship about 100 or so of the larger ones, the posters, but the smaller ones, not I mean, those things are solid. I agree with you, Rob. I think they are much better than the Geminis in the way that
Well,
they get
they're
out
double
there.
the thickness. They're like
I don't know if
doubly
they're
as thick.
double, but they're
I think
they're
they
pretty
are.
damn solid units, and I just don't see how they can how they can be wrecked. But the bigger ones, obviously, the larger surface area, there's opportunity for more things to happen to us. There have been a couple of knocks to the thing, but I haven't had anyone come back yet and say something was damaged to the point where they need me to send a replacement. So
where is Crackhead? We're literally looking at his guy, Joe.
we put him
Ball,
to sleep with the printer talk, and now you bring
he's not
you
dropping
should have done
links.
it the other
He's
way
going to be
around.
upset with himself when he realizes. The Cryptidnals campaign is still upright. People really need to back that more. If so, legit, the book I'm excited for the most from CG, followed by Wraith. Very cool.
I agree.
Are we not going to bring up how Bancroft looks like an old Asian man on the thumbnail?
Did you race swap me, Rob? I thought I just had red eyes.
No, I just stole it from the CG team. That's the image. And I changed your eyes.
George says my magnet was digging into the book. That I find that strange. I haven't heard that feedback. I mean, they are quite separated. But all right, George. I mean, there was sort of like a last minute addition, so I will admit I hadn't 100% thought it through. But that's just something can be workshopped. How's the best way to put it into the actual mailer? But I thought it was pretty safe. But maybe when the pressures of international shipping, things get pushed a bit further than you expect.
I've only backed 90 campaigns. I feel like a failure. Also, good morning, everyone. 90 campaigns.
90 campaigns is huge.
It's solid. Yeah, it's fantastic. 42 from Passion. Billy's backed a lot.
Resting on top of the book. Oh, that's not good.
Did it move around?
Yeah, because I made sure to keep them in separated bags so that they wouldn't do that. That looks like it has somehow done it. And there was quite a bit of room, in the top there. So I'm surprised to hear that did that. But all right, yeah. Well, I'll think of some. I'm think of some other way if I do it again. I don't know.
Do you want to read that one?
I got an email from Australia Post the other day. I thought, what kind of scam is this? Then I realized the scam was the Lucent, the mystery. Yeah.
Not the face of the book, the top of the book, and digging into the top. The board saved it.
Yeah, no, all right, I get you. Yeah, okay. All right. Well,
Mel is responsible for poor magnet packing.
No. I mean, I kind of worked out how it would be packed, and I think that was really the only way it could be packed.
So you let the team down, Bancroft.
Yeah, no. Mel has taken fantastic care into how these things are being packed.
I blame George's magnetic personality. Oh. What else you got? You got no topics. Why am I even asking you? What have you got in chat?
I've got a topic. Fine, I'll give you a topic that I was going to bring up on my show, but I didn't get to because my show was so jam-packed with content. Jam-packed.
That's what happens when the person coming onto your show brings something to the table.
Yeah, well, now where is it? Oh, hang on, I didn't. Right, okay. Oh, I should have said that.
Death, Joe Ball. Check it out. It's on Indiegogo right now. Links in the chat. If there are any other campaigns you want us to look at while we're here, bring it up. Damn, Billy. I knew you've been backing a lot, but that's insane. I'm up to 143 books I've backed, I think. That's crazy. Rob is mean-spirited. Is this something you're just learning, Anton? It's not news to anyone else.
This is a tweet I found the other day. All my crowdfunding comic books look great on my retail shelves for the shop I'm opening. They do, don't they? And now I'm always been like, this is just for, online and whatever. But seeing it there like that does look pretty cool, I have to say. Now, I'm not saying he's going to actually sell these books in his shop, but it would be cool if he did.
What cover do you reckon stands out the most out of all those? Like, which one are you drawn
Okay, so
to?
I'm walking by.
Yeah, exactly. That's the test.
And I'm probably grabbing probably the that chromium salamandroid, because I just know like I would think, oh, that's cool. But if we're talking art as well, I do like that Nexus cover with the flare. Even Graveyard Shift with the logo on fire.
The orange one?
Yeah.
That's probably what my eye's drawn to.
Yeah, it's very simple, especially in this landscape here where there's lots of things happening. Like all the cyber frogs on that second row, kind of all. I know that a lot of them are the same cover, but they there's so much going on when I look at it like this, it's a lot happening. But that Graveyard Shift just really jumps out at you.
Look, Presti had to change some of his tiers because Dodson pulled out. That kind of stinks. That seems crazy.
He's getting too much heat from the SJWs.
Mate, what a
we
waste.
Don't know that, Rob. Just could be something else.
Don't go off on a tangent yet. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, the Graveyard Shift. Everyone in chat saying Graveyard Shift.
And I would never have imagined that without seeing them all sitting here together. But that does really show, there's something to say for simplicity.
I'd like to see the black and white cyber frogs not there, and to see how it looks.
All right. Passion says the Lucent is on the floor. I think the Lucent would do well in this spread because it is just the one element. Her reaching out towards you, saying, "Come, pick me up." I think it would stand a chance.
What's that one next to the Graveyard Shift 3 that's pretty much all black?
I believe that is the Impossible Stars.
Oh, okay.
That's the cover that Ethan was like, "Don't do that, please don't do that." But saying no to your boy Zach is like a red flag in front of a bull. So he just charged right at it.
I think Crackhead has it. Put all the line art on one shelf. That would be
the line art is it's a specialty item, but it would be great to see. I mean, because there are hundreds of books by now. It'd be great to see them all. And then the question is, would you like to see this in real life, and how viable would it be?
I would like to see all the books and see which one stands out the most. Like which is the cover that wins the standout competition from CG. That would be cool. That would be cool. I mean,
Jasper says it's official. The Dodson news is an update from Aaron. Does he say why he bailed? Is it because of the heat that the campaign's created? Because I mean, that's definitely happened before, where people have bailed because they're like, "Well, if you're going to be CG, I'm out." Yeah, well, I see, George. The Groken covers, I agree, fantastic, but there's a lot going on in them, and it seems to be when you put them on a wall here, it's the simpler covers that jump out at the very least. Not saying they're better, because I wouldn't have guessed that the Graveyard Shift logo cover would be the one that would kind of draw me in, but lo and behold, here we are.
Unpopular opinion, I actually think this Grogan cover might stand out the best.
That was my favorite one. That's the third one, yeah? The one you have to get the top tier to get?
Yes. The one
Yeah.
the chat paid for you.
Thank you, chat. How the chat. Thank you. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that was my favorite. God, that looks good.
Yeah. I don't know why. I love like how this is just like a flat color. Like, I mean, there's detail and stuff in it, but it's just flat and your eye is drawn to it. It looks sick. Groken cover 8 is a good point, George, because you have the contrast of the white.
I like that. I see what he's doing there, but it's not my favorite. I get the concept and everything, but out of the three, it is my least favorite.
This
We'll
one,
see when it's printed, because it's going to look different when you're holding it in your hand and there's an actual white border, you know, because there it just kind of like dissolves into the background of the page. Jasper said it is confirmed he did dip out of Wraith of God for
that is an absolute fire cover.
Yeah.
Jeez, there was, you could have parked a bus in the
Sorry,
pulse.
I was reading comments. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Shane's gonna just nail it. I mean, he couldn't be launching this at a better time, really. It's everyone is on such a high from Starlight Cats. It's ostensibly gone way above and beyond all expectations, and now on top of it, everyone's saying he's doing the best art of his life. They love the writing, and now he brings out this book that people are, really vibing on. Although now that I look at it, that guy in the main guy, he looks a bit like Shane to me.
The main guy, this guy.
Yeah, he looks a bit like Shane to me now. And I never thought that on the other times I've seen him drawn. But just
this
here
looks
he does.
more like Anna than
I've seen
this
people
looks like
say
Shane.
that. No, I think he does. He looks a bit like it's a thing that,
Send it through, Zeke. Send it through.
If he wanted to send it through, he wouldn't have told us.
Well,
see, George agrees. It happens. It happens.
I like from a coloring point of view, Bancroft, the way your eye is drawn here and here and here, yet they're all separated, is, I think, I don't know how they've done it, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah, no, his colorist is amazing.
Like, I don't know who colored this. This looks great.
It's his colorist that he uses, and I think it's like a joint effort between them. But I can't wait for Starlight Cats. I'm real, and I wasn't super pumped for it. I was super pumped for the art because I'm not hugely familiar with Shane's work other than what I've been shown. But now I'm pumped for the story, and I'm more than happy to read a story about a 12-year-old girl with cats in space.
I mean, it looks like, from early indications, that it's a contender for Book of the Year.
Yeah. It's going to be hard pressed to beat by the sounds of it. I think he's, and I love that his. I used to think maybe Cyberfrog was probably the contender for breaking into the mainstream, but yeah, you just don't know really. Like, I could totally see, having what I've seen, I could totally see that being a cartoon or anything. I think it would really translate very well, into making it out there in the real world.
Oh, George says my two favorite books of 2021 are Starlight Cats and Skits. Sorry, Bancroft.
That's why. Well, and that's fine. That's why I want Skits. And I remember I tried to back it way back in the day because I thought it looked so cool. I didn't know it was cool, and the shipping, and then I forgot about that. And then when I heard it actually is really cool, I was reminded of the shipping issue, which is such a shame.
This is cool though, right? Because your eye is drawn to this guy, but it's not drawn everywhere at the same time. Like you're focused here, and then your eye wants to explore a little bit. So it might go here next, and then it might go to this guy, and then you take in the back. I mean, it's a really, really nice cover. I think it's his best cover I've seen. I think it's better than his Malign cover as well. What do you think about that statement?
I'm not sure. I love the Malign cover. That's the one I backed. Maybe this will grow on me, but yeah.
Eye goes to the bottom left immediately. Yeah, I can see that too. I think it's great. Monster MD still holds that title for me in terms of picking one book would make it in the mainstream. Haven't read the Lucen yet though. George, I'm just playing around with you. I'm not being serious. Jasper sent me something saying that
Nordred says, I don't know why Anna is so blue on it though.
It is with great regret and sadness. I have to announce Mr. Dodson has decided no longer to be part of this campaign. It's a bit unexpected at this point, but in fairness to him, I would not wish him or anyone else the grief I've been given since launching this campaign. There you go.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, no one cares when you or I join Comicsgate. We get nothing.
They still don't.
Slack. No, why would they?
I'm joking. Yeah,
no, I mean SJWs, like no one cares that. Oh, did you hear Rob Arnold is, joined Comicsgate? No one cares. But yeah, these guys, they really do. And I thought we were kind of past it, but clearly not. I think it's actually kind of ramping up again because of the whole Substack thing. And I mean, if I were imagine you're looking to get into comics in 2021 and start a career, and your parents would be right to say no, get a real job currently, unless you can somehow make it in crowdfunding, because the prospects for this industry are just so bad for your average writer, artist, colorist, whatever. They really are lashing out. And I think that's probably what's going on here. And the fact that another guy, according to them, goes to the dark side.
SJWs go Rob Who and what's a Bancroft?
Yep. Even CGers say that, famous, some of our most prominent creators say that right to my face, even while knowing I'm in the chat.
Yeah. I think there's far too much saturation intensity in many of these color treatments. All of the elements are competing with one another. I disagree, but I can understand where you're coming from. I mean, the worst thing that I was called was a Nazi. I didn't enjoy that very much, just because like my grandfather fought against them.
But that's just random idiots on Twitter. These are people that he knew and worked with. On him.
Oh, yeah, I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying that's the worst thing that's happened to me. I didn't enjoy it. It doesn't it doesn't really affect me. Like, I'm not upset by it, but I think it is bullshit that you can get called that, considering what people went through during that time. And comparing us to that is just an absolute joke. So that pisses me off. But apart from that, yeah. Oh, thanks, Billy. Rob, your crowdfunder doc should win you an award. Seriously, can't tell how much that has helped me in the last year. Appreciate it, dude. I got called a garbage mail.
See, I find that all their insults just so laughable. There was a woman, she's going viral on Twitter, talking about how any woman who is in a relationship with a man is sleeping with her oppressor. I mean, they are just so ridiculous.
Yeah,
that
it is
you
stupid.
can just only laugh at it. It's it's funny.
I'm jealous.
So
I
you
get
got to
jealous.
change your
I'm-
avatar, Antoine. Change your avatar to a, I don't know, anime something, and you'll get called a Nazi. Toot sweet.
All right. Anything else to finish on Bancroft? We're close to wrapping it up right here.
Do you want to show that page that I
Yeah, sure.
did?
Show it. Do you want me to bring it up?
I can bring it up. I mean, I don't have it ready, but you know.
I get called similar things all the time on Twitter just for having a CG in my handle. Yeah, it is crazy. I do think that like the tide is turning though. Like I said this to Bancroft. I might have said on stream as well, but like whenever you see like an F Comicsgate tweet, there is a whole bunch of people saying no, that's not true. You're telling lies. Where's the proof? All that kind of stuff. You just see tons and tons of replies. So that's encouraging. I think that their bullshit is not working so much anymore, which is cool. Yeah, having to explain to my mum why some of my art with Comicsgate hashtags had people calling me Nazi was awkward. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Slightly different color palette.
Yeah, look at that post-apocalypticness.
Yeah, I call it dystopian green.
Mm-hmm.
The sky is not quite blue. It's not quite green. It's somewhere in the middle. Everyone's choosing to wear drab. Now these are the people stuck outside. They're not the people inside the wall.
That's correct. Yeah, they're poor. They're dirty. They're hungry. They're waste. They're discarded. They're all those things.
Yeah, yeah. And this will lead into the into some interior scenes for the first time. That'll be during daylight, so that'll be interesting to light. I don't want to give it all away, but yeah, there we go. And Eric Canetti's in the chat, and
Still here.
He gave me some comments and advice and stuff, and about making sure to separate middle grounds and foregrounds, and it's all about readability and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, me, I really want to help with the storytelling with these colors. So I was pretty happy landing on this palette here, even though I think it'll only be on one page. But that's the life. And I see you've got Asian reporter. What's her name? You remember Family Guy? Do you remember that
Trisha
character?
Takanawa.
Trisha Tucker. Yeah, I see. I was remembering it the whole time I was coloring it. I was like, oh, back to Asian reporter Trisha Tucker. But yeah.
Mo says the SJWs made a video singling out my friends and I for targeted harassment over our shared hobby. Wait, that was Bancroft.
Pete Cullen said, if Bancroft were a color, he'd be dystopian green. Oh, thank you, Anton. He says it's pleasing to the eye. I think this might be the last job that I ever do for someone else as a colorist. But yeah, I'll be definitely taking some things that I'm learning here moving forward into the Lucent.
It looks heaps better too on the screen that I'm looking at. I don't know. Sometimes when you share things over StreamYard, it loses a little bit of the impact. I find
it does.
It looks really sick. God, what was I going to say? I forget now.
I don't know, Rob.
Not even a pin.
I'm just your memory. I can't give you any new information.
This
you didn't
is
watch
very
The Simpsons enough, Rob.
This is very pleasing to the eye. I think Michael has a great future as a colorist. Oh yeah, my question was, are you enjoying doing the coloring though? Like, are you enjoying it,
Oh yeah. Look,
or
work
do you
is
hate
work.
me now?
No, I mean work is work. You got to get up and do it. Every morning I get up and have my cup of tea and I sit down and jump into Replicator. So you got to do it, and there's a bit of like a grind to that. But when the pages come out really well and everything gels really nicely, there's a lot of satisfaction to be found there, and I'm excited to do this. Now I know it's kind of like a piggyback action because Corey started it with the all the rendering and everything. But I feel like there's a lot of a lot of my work in these pages, so
Hell yeah.
people will get a real sense of I think I'll have a good sense of achievement when it's all done.
It is really cool because like the colors that Corey did and what you've added to it now has really elevated the art quality as well. Like it's definitely boosted it up notches.
Yeah.
So it sucks being late. It really does. I hate it. It stresses me out. But it is much better being late and having it look like this than getting it out early and people not being happy with it. So it's good. I'm really happy with it. Nurgling Green from Citadel. Ryan, I didn't know you painted, my friend. Well, there we go. There's a man of leisure. I'm glad you're happy, Rob. How many pages can you color a day? And the problem is he works a full-time job. I mean, if he quit,
so I do it before work and then sometimes after work, depending on things I have done or I don't know. It depends on the pages. Some of these, like they've been pages been slow going recently because we're doing this massive fight scene and they're still not finished. I'm moving on, but there's some things that we have to go back and revisit after I'm sort of finished the bulk of the work. Those took a long time because there's a lot of little elements that go into it. Each character has 2 lighting sources, 2 kinds of rim lights. There's effects, there's explosion effects, there's fire effects. They're all different. They were a long time. Whereas a page like that was a lot quicker. So it just depends on the page. And thank you, Antoine. I saw your comment about the Lucent. I mean, I saw that as well. And you it's funny, you work on something for so long. He's talking about a lack of separation between foreground, middle ground, and background. And, you work on something so long, it gets kind of stuck in your mind as that's how it's supposed to look. And then it's only when it's printed and you get it, and then plus, you've learned more things, and you look back, I wish I had done that. But I think we're all improving.
Let's wrap it up there. We've got we had 25, 30 plus people watching the whole time. So thank you very much. It did drop off when we started talking about printing. So that's a mental note, never to do that again.
I warned you.
Thank you, everyone. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. I can't believe, Devilfish, that you're actually going to go watch Home and Away.
Oh.
I mean, maybe when you're a teenager and there was nothing else on TV, like you had Channel 7
a week ago.
But I mean, now Devilfish, mate, what is going on?
Everyone needs their stories.
Everyone needs their stories. I hate to admit, I did get addicted to Days of Our Lives when I was a teenager for a little while. It was bad. It was bad. That's a great show, Beta Rachel. Well, we've got to be honest, don't we? That's a great show, Bancroft. You should watch that. Mr. In Between.
What's it on? Because I'm looking for a show.
What's it on? I can't remember. Maybe Binge. I'm not sure. God, Rob is ugh. Oh.
That's you got to pronounce it right.
Oh. He's basically a hitman, but he's like an Australian hitman, and he's kind of like, you know, doesn't give an F.
No, you told me about this. Yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
it's
Okay.
good.
I'll
It's good.
see it. I didn't think
Foxtel
we'd get...
binge.
Yeah.
All right,
We gotta
I'm
sign
hitting
up
the
for
end
a
broadcast
Foxtel
button
thing,
after I do the play out, which I need to find again. So you're just going to have to wait a second. Bancroft, entertain the people.
What did they say in that song? You know, and it's like, I give him the tongue or something. What are they saying?
What?
There's some part of the lyrics where he says something. All I hear is tongue. And I don't know if it's just what it sounds like.
There once was a ship that went.
It's a bit after that. Anyway, you'll hear it. Listen out for the tongue.
Dude, there's literally lyrics on the screen. You can read the lyrics. All right, chat. See you later, guys. Have a good one.
How chat.
Once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a Billy of Tea. The winds blew up her bow, dipped down below my Billy boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take
One day when the tonguing is done.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore, and down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.